Hello, welcome to the 100th episode of RSGPodcast.
Congratulations. Good job, good job.
It's been a long road. It really has been.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of downs, not so many ups, but we're trying.
Yeah, but the ups that we get hit are like, they're really high.
Oh yeah, dude, they're
Really high.
it makes it all worth it.
Right.
Remember that one time when we had like girls on the podcast?
And we had, 1,001 views that day.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was pretty good.
So I
Yeah,
get it.
1,000.
You guys want more
I,
women.
I don't think it was 1,000.
It was 90, 92, I think.
Which
That's
is
pretty
like
close
really
to
close to
1,000.
1,000. Yeah.
It is.
It's pretty close to 1,000. Yeah.
Look, this is the make-believe world of dreams, where we have a podcast that people listen to.
On the internet, anything could be true.
This is true. So, yeah. Anyway, so we got a few things to talk about today. We're
A
gonna.
female on the internet.
He really is. We're done. Have a good night. We're going to talk fan responses to Age of Ultron, because apparently the internet got pissed because they expected things that didn't happen, So I feel like with that all movies, when involved, when superhero movies, we'll say that, they should really do some sort of outreach to the fans to find out what they want in the movie and base all the movies off of what the fans want.
Well,
100%.
100%. That will work every time.
Right. It would always be an awesome movie.
We'll get into that in a minute. We're also going to talk about how, excited we are about the new, I almost said James Bond, in Mad Max film.
Yes.
not this month.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next,
Yeah.
which we're going to see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're all involved now on the website, so we're all going to start posting things up there. Dr. Watson over there.
That guy right there. This one.
Yeah, that one.
Or this one.
Either one, really. Start posting blog views and stuff, or blog posts.
I looked at this blog today.
Yeah.
I read
He's going to
this.
do
It
his
was
own
really
blog
good.
that he'll link to his own website. Sure, check it out. Yeah. And then what else are we going to talk
Just say that sounds like too much work.
Mm.
Just talk
I mean,
about
all it is just typing shit out on paper. If it's really too
Yeah,
much,
that's the problem.
okay. They have this thing, and I'm going to plug this Dragon Diction. You can pick up, and it will just type what you speak. So you can just rant. It'll just put it all on paper. You should send.
How does it do with expletives?
I think it gives them cool little symbols. I don't know if it actually. I'm sure it has an adult out there.
man.
I'm out. I'm out then.
Whatever, it's cool. Now I've lost my train of thought. This is what we're doing next. After that, we got Mad Max, Civil War.
Yeah.
They released the
we'll talk about
cast
this
for Civil War. So we'll discuss that in its entirety. Probably take an hour and a half talking about that.
Yeah.
So,
Tune in. Don't even think about using the restroom.
yeah, that's right. It's a little dark, but light is as it like you. But anyway, let's go ahead and start. Yeah, the light, it was dark, and then the light turned around and made everybody visible. So
Good story.
I know, right?
Good story.
Civil War cast list.
Yeah. So they released the Civil War cast list, and they basically confirmed that the new Avengers will be the new Avengers. So we saw at the end of Age of
Nice.
Ultron will be the new Avengers. So War Machine, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and
Okay.
Cap and Black Widow still.
So if they're going to be the new Avengers, what happened to the rest of the Avengers from Age of Ultron? Why aren't they involved?
Iron Man is busy
Retired.
hanging out with Pepper somewhere.
Oh,
Retired.
that's right. Yeah, he
And
retired.
Thor is busy doing research
Oh, that's right.
on how to create Ragnarok.
I wonder if we'll see a scene with him wearing glasses in full Thor costume in a library. That's right. That would be funny. That would
It
be
makes
great.
me. I honestly wonder whether or not this is going to make the numbers lower. People have gotten used to who the Avengers are. Now, I mean, we've always known that the cast was going to have to change eventually. And personally, I'm as excited as ever for it. But
People go to the Avengers movies to see, Iron Man and shit like that.
Yeah, well, but Iron Man wasn't in the last Winter Soldier either, and it made almost as much money as the Avengers. Because this is the Captain America standalone movie, technically.
Yeah, people do like the Captain.
Yeah.
Who doesn't need an axe to chop wood, by the way. That's pretty cool.
That was pretty awesome. We just tears that charcoal wood apart.
He's just doing it to mimic humanity.
Yeah. I was just doing it to impress Tony Stark.
Yeah.
It
Well, I
worked.
mean, we
Don't
have.
take from my
You
pocket.
could tell. We thought Tony got like a half chop from that. He's like, oh,
A little bit. He's
oh.
have to.
Oh.
Well, right here with the Chubbs.
We do have some like background R&M War Machine.
Yeah.
And we have some solidified story from the Iron Man movies.
Yeah.
For him.
Well, these are all people who you know already. They don't need their own like back because they're in the movie. Because my understanding, they released the synopsis of the plot, which is that another international event involving the Avengers occurs and people die. So everyone who thought that like the Sokovia incident from Age of Ultron was what sparked the Civil War is not true. There's another incident that happens in Civil War that will spark the Civil War.
It'll be the true
storyline.
This is just,
Right.
I mean, Sokovia was building up to it.
Right, New York and Sokovia from both the Avengers movies are building up to it, but the one that will actually spark it is in this movie.
Okay. Well, I mean, they did kind of play. You can definitely tell that Captain and Tony Stark do not trust each other. I mean, Captain America.
There's a lot of. Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
We'll get to that later. And so they did release the cast list. You'll see all the new Avengers. Scott Lang, aka Paul Rudd from Ant-Man, is confirmed to be in the movie alongside the Avengers.
Was Spider-Man on there?
Spider-Man. There was not a Spider-Man on the cast list,
Which is interesting.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be a scene or two with a Spider-Man in it.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess they don't necessarily have to have the face of the actor on there. They can just have the costume man.
Well, it depends. In the comics, Spider-Man unmasked himself in public.
Oh, that's right.
That's part of the deal.
Which, if you follow the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, he's already done.
Right. So maybe not. I don't know.
Sorry, that meme was hilarious. Hey, Parker, I had rice last night.
Oh, man. But so you may or may not see him. But people from Winter Soldier are going to be back. They're going to bring back. They've also confirmed that Baron Zemo will be in the movie.
Really?
Yeah. So you're going to get Zemo. You're going to get Crossbones.
Okay.
Okay.
Zemo's an interesting choice.
Zemo is an interesting choice.
He's an interesting choice. I actually really like Zemo when I was a kid.
Yeah. So Baron Zemo, and we're going to be put by Daniel Bruhl, who I don't remember what else he's done right off the top of my head right now.
To the Googles.
I know there's something else he's done that I enjoyed him in. No, he's going to be in. He was in Rush with Hemsworth, the racing movie.
Okay.
Which is why everyone wants that like moment where they make that allusion to Rush with Daniel Bruhl and Chris Hemsworth or whatever. I'm like,
We don't need that.
we don't need that.
We don't need that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
Okay.
That guy. They can all see that. That's a good
I know,
idea.
right?
They can
Yeah.
definitely all see that.
Yeah.
We're professional podcasters. We're so good at this job.
So,
Whatever. Make it our own. It's the internet.
right. Also, Martin Freeman has been confirmed to be cast, but not who he's playing.
Not to be confused
Morgan.
with Morgan Freeman.
Freeman,
Martin Freeman.
a.k.a. Bilbo Baggins from the horrible Hobbit
Who do
movies.
you think he's going to play?
Watson, obviously.
Because Sherlock is joining the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
A.k.a. Doctor Strange. Everyone knows I hate Doctor Strange. That cast is Doctor Strange.
Well, you like Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor Strange. But casting Bumblebee Thundercunt
Yes.
as Doctor Strange was like, no thanks, man. No thanks. Doctor Strange is not an autistic guy. Okay, that's all.
My God.
That is
Wow.
the one thing Bumblebee Thundercunt is capable of being. Is autistic guy. He's like the white. He's like white nerdy autistic Will Smith. Like Will Smith is like the generic cool black guy. This guy is the generic autistic white nerdy guy.
Like, your hatred for him is just uncanny.
My accuracy about
No,
his acting
there's
ability.
nothing accurate
is
about
uncanny.
it. There's nothing accurate about it.
Dude has no acting ability. He literally is like white autistic Will Smith. It's crazy.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Because you know I'm right. That's why you got nothing.
I'm not saying yes or no
If
to that.
you thought I was wrong, you would have something, but you don't
It's like watching you punch
because you
yourself
know
in
I'm
the
right.
face.
Because
I
you
got
know
nothing for that.
I'm right.
You got nothing for that.
You know
just,
I'm right.
You just wham, wham.
Yeah, I'm right.
Obviously, you're not right.
I am right.
You're obviously biased.
Why did the internet have such a chub for him? Because they're all
That's the
autistic
only
white
reason
nerdy
why
guys.
you don't have a chub for him is because they do.
No,
Shut
Not
up, you
true.
hipster bitch.
not true.
Why don't you go put on a
Not
scarf and get a cup of premium
I'm
coffee.
gonna get my hair done up in a bun. A man bun.
A man bun, yes.
Yes. Do the man bun. So we got off track there because I hate Doctor Strange. Hate that guy.
You love Doctor Strange.
Love Doctor
We
Strange.
now know how you really
I'm pretty sure everyone already do. I'm pretty sure he does about once a podcast.
feel. Yeah, you probably do.
I'm pretty sure. So we were Sharon Carter, Agent 13,
Okay.
who plays a on and off again girlfriend of Cap in the comics,
Cap.
will also be back as well. She was a very minor character in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But
The roommate.
Yeah.
Or not roommate.
Not the room, but
neighbor.
the neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor, sorry.
She also had like that cool line like Captain's Orders or whatever in the
Yeah. Like the one time Captain decides to try to hook up with someone else, turns out to be a SHIELD agent,
right.
turns him down. It's
God
cold-blooded.
damn
man.
it, Fury.
Yeah. Poor Captain.
Now I kind of want to watch that movie again.
It was really good.
It was very good.
It was really good.
Yeah, I liked it really good.
And I really like the fact that they brought the Russo brothers back, the guys who directed Winter Soldier, to do Civil War. And that they're handing over the reins of the Avengers to those two guys.
Yeah.
Now, you were saying that the only thing the Russo brothers have done besides Captain America's Winter Soldier was Community, right?
Yeah, the TV show.
That's pretty crazy that they went right from that to like, boom.
Well, here's the good news about this. This means that hopefully we won't lose some of the quips. A lot of people I understand on the internet are pissed off about the quips in Age of Ultron, but this means that they can write comedy. They can do
It's
comedy.
because the people on the internet want instant gratification. They want everything to be moved along faster than it is moving along.
I'm so angry about the internet's reaction to the movie.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. So that's enough about Civil War. Just, some teasers, like what we might see. My guess is Martin Freeman will be grieving father number one. That his son or wife or family will get killed, and that he'll be involved in the trial
Well,
or
in the,
testifying before Congress about the, Superhero Registration Act.
in the Civil War comic book, there was
Could be.
a person who was a mother, not a father,
Right.
who was played a very central role. Just a regular human person, grieving mother, played a very central role in the.
Because the
in
media
Civil
loves
War
that,
comics.
and the media's going to come up on that.
Oh,
They're going
yeah.
to find that one guy or one person who's charismatic and emotional and can make other people feel, and use that as a tool to try and drive forward the Registration Act.
Well, because they made it a grieving father instead of mother, that's obviously sexist, and we should boycott the movie.
No, bro. See, this is okay because I'm going to explain some advanced feminist theory here. Okay.
Here we go. Make sure to
Because-
speak up so they can hear you.
Because now that we've made him a father figure, that leaves women free to do other things because they don't know how to stay home and take care of the kids all the time.
Are you mansplaining me feminism?
Yes.
That's sexist.
Yes. Sit down and take it.
Sit down and take it.
Learn something today. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just saying, you can spit anything however you want to spit it. That's what you do.
every word
That's what
is just a
people do.
backhand of the feminist movement. Every word out of your mouth just it's terrible. It's terrible.
Fair enough. But so Civil War, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
I think Civil War is going to be what everybody wanted Age of Ultron to be.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody was looking forward to Age of Ultron to be like the Empire Strikes Back of the Avengers movies, I guess.
Dark and gritty.
And
Agree.
really provide consequence to the whole universe. But Civil War is that movie. Age of Ultron was never going to be that movie. Ever since they announced Civil War, we knew Age of Ultron wasn't going to be that movie.
Yeah.
Because the Civil War is such a dark storyline to begin with, and a lot of heroes die
Yeah.
in the Civil War storyline. Die to other heroes.
Yeah.
Not the bad guys. To other heroes.
Well, yeah, but a lot of the heroes that die in the Civil War storyline are also heroes we don't care about.
Fair point.
So we've already touched on that.
Fair point.
We're going to kill... It wasn't Warpath they killed. Who was it? Another guy, Goliath, I think, who was killed by Thor-ish. Thor-ish. It's not actually Thor. It's a Civil... I don't know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that, the Civil War is going to be dark, and I think we're going to see some actual deaths.
Yeah.
I think Captain America's gone.
People that you know who I hope they kind of kill off?
Who?
War Machine.
Really?
All right.
Why War Machine?
Well, dude, don't be wrong. I love Don Cheadle.
Like seriously, he's good.
Seriously. But I think that Terrence Newman makes a better Rhodey than Don Cheadle does.
Yeah, but Terrence Newman screwed the pooch on that deal. Like he'll never be.
He'll never come back, right? But
is his name Terrence Newman?
isn't it?
The first.
Howard.
No, maybe you're right. Maybe Terrence Howard is the right one.
Yeah, you're right. It is Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
What did Terrence Newman
I don't know.
I don't either. Terrence Howard, though. I thought he did a much better job than the original Iron Man as Rhodey, and that he would make a better War Machine in general.
Yeah.
For one thing, Don Cheadle looks too thin.
Yeah, but
I know it's all in the armor, but he's still.
yeah, but
I don't
what
buy
about
him as War
represent?
Machine. I don't buy him as War Machine either because he just sounds like. I don't know.
I will say this though, one of my favorite parts of the Age of Ultron movie was when Don Cheadle told his story about dropping the tank for the Warlord to Tony and Thor, and they're just like, "Oh no, it's a great story."
Yeah.
And then he has to go and retell it to the people that aren't superheroes just to get that affirmation. He's just
Right.
like, right,
It's a good story.
That was a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job of humanizing the people in general in the Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I think so. Like, here's what the internet wanted out of Age of Ultron. They wanted this dark, gritty, like serious threats to the superhero's life, and it's too soon for that in the Avengers movieverse. It's just too soon for it.
Right.
Like a lot of people, well, this is like the 11th movie, and I'm like, everything else was built up.
Yeah.
Everything else is built up for those particular characters. Like, you can't look at the Iron Mans and count them in the Avengers movie like line, because they're not Avengers movies, they're Iron Man movies. They're about that particular character.
Right.
And it's too early in the Avengers movies to start putting them in mortal peril. Like,
I agree.
you know,
Well, and until one of them really, really dies, no one's going to believe they're in any sort of mortal peril anyway. But that's
Right.
sort of the whole point of comic book superheroes. You know what I mean? Like, Superman is literally goddamn fucking immortal. You know, unkillable. But people still love to buy it. People still love Superman. You know, the whole point is to, like, go and watch a fantasy about something that can do things you can't do, you know, without the thought of danger.
well, and this movie like was less about the superheroes being in danger, and more about them actually being superheroes.
Right.
Like saving the populace who isn't so good at not dying.
Right.
You know, and that's what, and this movie did that splendidly.
Yeah.
Like amazingly well.
Almost too well.
Almost too
We
well.
could have used a few less scenes of people directing traffic onto boats. I'm just saying, a few less of them.
There's only a few in the beginning. Like, a few less means none.
No, there were plenty of scenes of them directing traffic. We didn't have to
Oh,
watch them
onto the
under the flying
okay,
boats, stuff like that. Like, we could have a whole lot. We could have a few less of those, like your Scarlet Witch going onto the boat. Get out of the boat, people. Get out of the boat. We could have a few less of those overall, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
It bothers you at all.
Well, the first time I did bodies in much, I thought it was a little much the first time. Then on second and third viewings, I'm like, oh yes, this scene again. We know they need to get on the fucking boat. We all know that by now. Everybody gets it.
They're
getting on the airboats.
Speaking of evacuating the city and the Scarlet Witch, remember the scene in Age of Ultron where they're all fighting around that unit to keep all of Ultron's supers off? There's one scene where it pans from left to right. I don't know who's fighting who, but you know the one robot that ends up flipping it? You see him sitting there, eyes still lit up, playing dead. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. And I didn't, for a long time I wasn't sure if it was like, you know, the continuity issue, did they not realize, or if it was just showing that Ultron, while still doing that, still had that one little AC just waiting for you.
Yeah.
You guys want to check it out again, see it, but
I
I
have
don't know.
to look at it.
Yeah, but it was a really split second, but it was really kind of cool. You just see these two white lights. You was like, oh. And then later on, when it got up and it moved, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
But, you know, this was like some more character development. This was not character development as an individual, but character development as the Avengers as a team.
Yeah.
And that's what this was shows. Like, it showed them gelling as a team and still having, you know, issues, still having problems, but because they're more of a team, they're able to work through it much more quickly and get right down to the subject matter.
Yeah.
So I personally really liked it. My MVP for this movie was the Vision and the whole scene with the Vision, all of the Vision scenes.
Yeah, well,
the Vision.
They really captured Vision's
very, very man.
he's always sort of elegant in the comic books.
Yeah,
the way he floats around and the way he moves and stands and walks, everything that he does is sort of like this ethereal, otherworldly elegance about it.
Yeah,
and they captured that really well in the movie. I thought
even his demeanor was like I think the Vision. It was actually the one I was like a little worried about before seeing the movie because the Vision is a hard character to write for.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's very ethereal and just a little aloof.
Yeah.
And he's difficult to write for, but they did a really good job with that. A really, really good job with that, making him this very wise but yet very naive sort of, at the same time, person or being. It was just amazingly well done.
Yeah.
And then they set up the Scarlet Witch Vision.
Yeah. Future romance,
which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. So some complaints other people had on the internet. Some people were angry about Black Widow's storyline. About how people went out as far as to say that they damseled her in this movie.
Oh.
That her getting
kidnapped by
Ultron.
People. Just say it.
Her getting kidnapped by Ultron.
Just say it. We need more of that
backhanding. Getting kidnapped by Ultron.
Just say who.
Shh. We're moving on.
Just say who.
We're moving past that.
Who was it?
Who people? What's some people?
That. We're moving past
Who
that.
is it?
People on Twitter. I don't know. People on Twitter. Moving past that.
No, we're not moving past that.
Moving past. Continuing on. And I was like, I don't understand how they claim she got damseled. Yeah, she got kidnapped by Ultron, and yeah, Ruffalo had to come and save her, but it's not like she was sitting at home baking pies, and then Ultron kidnapped her or whatever. She was an active part of the team. It could have been any one of those people.
Well, it
was a convenience.
She also basically saved herself. She led the team to Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would not have found Ultron if it wasn't for her.
Yes. But that conveniently gets left out when we complain about her getting damaged, bro.
Yeah.
Because she did send a message to Hawkeye, who she knew would get the message about where she was being held captive at. But that gets conveniently forgotten. Because we don't come out and say it so blatantly.
Okay, so let's go into... Okay, there was a story that broke... That was incorrect, mind you.
Yeah.
About Joss going into hiding and shutting down his Twitter.
Yeah.
Because of the crazy attacks he was getting specifically about the romance.
He didn't close his Twitter down?
He closed his Twitter down, but not for that reason.
Not for that reason.
Oh, okay. That wasn't his primary reason for doing so.
Basically,
I'm
they're
sure
saying...
it plays into it, but...
It might. But basically they're saying that he went into hiding because they were just blowing him up on Twitter over the Scarlet Witch, specifically.
The Black Widow. You always said that because
Scarlet Witch. I said Scarlet Witch again, didn't I?
Yeah, I always say it because Scarlett Johansson plays Black Widow.
Scarlet Witch, I did it again.
And so when I see it, I realize Scarlett Johansson in my mind, and my mouth says Scarlet because that's her.
That's her, yeah. Sorry. Black Widow. About the scene between Black Widow and the Hulk, Bruce Banner specifically, where they're basically kind of like, he's like, I'm a monster, I have to leave, and she's like, I sterilize myself so I can kill better. I'm also a monster. There's a lot of complaints because there's a lot of misconceptions about what is actually being said in this scene.
Yeah.
And it's they're just wrong.
Because some people want to say that she thinks she's a monster because she's sterilized and can't have kids. But that's not why she thinks she's a monster.
It's not what she said.
She thinks she's a monster because she's killed people. Lots of them.
Right.
And that makes her a monster. And she's okay with it.
The story was that she was sterilized because it made everything easier, including killing. And that's why she's a monster, because she is a killer. She's a murderer.
Yeah.
An assassin. And that's the reason why she said she was a monster, not because she sterilized herself. Sterilized the correct word here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was used in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the correct word.
Okay. So, yeah. It's just wrong. There's no reason to be jumping on and just pummeling him about the head.
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
Well, it's the internet.
It's ridiculous.
People have to have something to complain about. And no one likes to do any of their own research, so they're going to jump onto the current bandwagon of whatever it was. I mean, Gamergate was an excellent example of
An
that.
ongoing excellent example.
Oh, it's
still a thing.
I love the image that you showed us of where they like tracked the two groups fighting each other, and it was mostly just retweets of each other and like occasionally back and forth, but it was just these two gigantic clouds of agreeing and retweeting.
Yeah, just everyone circle jerking.
Yeah. Like, they don't even know that they're circle jerking the other side.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even realize that that's what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, so I think I can understand any complaints people might have about, well, they didn't further Black Widow's character much further. Okay, well, they didn't further any of the characters really much further.
That's not what the Avengers are about.
With the exception of Tony Stark, not even that much, really. Yeah. It's just Tony Stark being more Tony Stark.
The Avengers movies are the payoff.
Right.
The individual movies are where you develop your characters.
Oh, yes, but she doesn't have an individual movie.
She does not.
Which...
Because she's not that important to the world, okay? Obviously.
Oh! Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Without, like... But she gets more play, like, in Winter Soldier. She got a lot more character development there.
She did.
She gets a lot more, like, in the other movies alongside the other people.
It can be said, though, that she's always playing second fiddle to a man.
Yeah, it can be said.
It can be
said.
To be entirely frank, I would like to see a Black Widow. I think it would be good.
What would it be? An origin story? Because at this point, we already basically know her origin story, so are we going to... Like, what are we going to realistically see as
an origin story?
As a Black Widow movie? And if not, then we're going to see her go assassinate some people?
Could be an origin story.
Because hasn't she moved on past that at this point?
Listen, just because you can't imagine a movie where a female is the lead doesn't mean that there can't be one. That's good.
Aren't you just, mansplaining feminism here?
I don't know what you're talking about. That didn't happen. That did not happen. It's not that I can't envision it. I just don't know what story you would tell. And I think that's really the problem that Marvel has. Is like, what story do we tell with Black Widow?
Why don't they do the crossover where she was with Daredevil fighting is it the Hand?
There is some crossover there.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could do that, or they could, stuff like that. I mean, they did just.
Well, the Marvel movie side of the MCU does not like to include characters from the TV shows and the Netflix shows because they have a much smaller audience.
True.
And if now you're required to have seen that, then it makes it a little less accessible for the general populace moviegoer.
And that makes sense. It's an easy way to tell a new story with her instead of doing an origin story.
Yeah, granted. And I think there's too much of her origin story has already been explained via Agent Carter. Because the Agent Carter miniseries had a bunch of stuff about her backstory.
Yeah.
And about where she came from. It's pretty good.
Agent Carter's not bad.
Okay, yeah. I'll check it out.
So they have a lot about her backstory and where she came from there, the Red Room in Russia, where they trained female assassins. There's a lot of backstory there. And between that and the movies, we have enough of her backstory that we don't need an origin story. So now you have to go forward. Like, do we have a movie with other Avenger characters where she's the main focus?
They could.
And what do they do?
Guys, like the Team B Avengers.
They really, at this point, they can stop going. Well, I shouldn't say they can stop, but I would say in the near future, even they could probably start going with the double titles like they would do in the comics. A lot of times it was Captain America and Black Widow, or Black Widow and Daredevil, or they can start doing that. But I'm not sure if that's much more than just like.
Yeah, just because you put her name first.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not still Captain America's movie.
Right. So, I mean...
I think that's the big problem they have now, is that they don't know what story to tell, with Black Widow being the main focus. And how do you continue it in the universe without... And now make Black Widow the main focus and bring Iron Man or Captain America in and not make them the focus.
Well, let's go with a female then that could have got her own movie and didn't. That was just kind of thrown in. I shouldn't say kind of thrown in. They were thrown in, but Scarlet Witch could have had her own movie. We could have done an origin story easily for the twins, and just called it Scarlet Witch because they were going to kill him off anyways.
True. She is kind of a big part of the Marvel Universe.
Scarlet Witch is super important to the Marvel Universe, and granted, but because of the tie-in with them being mutants and stuff like that,
all the more
it
reason,
makes it
all the more reason to have a good origin story for them.
Yeah, but I don't think they could make a... They signed a deal to let them be used in the Avengers because they were Avengers. They could use their names and their powers, but they couldn't be mutants. Other than that, I don't think they have the rights to tell a Scarlet Witch Quicksilver story, other than them being involved with the Avengers.
This is why.
Because intellectual property law is a complicated son of a bitch.
And I don't believe that you know well enough to tell me this.
That's just what I read somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. Maybe
If
that
you
person
read that-
also didn't know.
If you read that, that's fine too.
That's what I
Okay,
read.
well then let's pick out of because honestly
They are planning a Captain Marvel standalone movie
okay.
in the future.
Okay. All right.
And Captain Marvel is a female character.
Well, is and has also been a male.
Right, but currently is.
But currently is.
Yeah,
Mm.
most incarnations are.
What
female.
would you do if they came back with a female Thor? Like Thor movie stuff over here, and it's a girl now. You think that has a place? I mean, it's happening in comics, obviously, and it's actually really interesting in comics. I like what.
Who do we cast as Thor?
Brienne of Tarth.
I'm in.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Who, coincidentally, is also going to be a Silver Stormtrooper, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Captain Phasma.
Phasma.
She can do it.
Captain Phasma.
What is that her name? I don't know.
Gwendolyn Christie.
I mean, her fight with the Hound showed that she's very much,
Yeah. She can-
combat ready for it.
She has,
Yeah.
she has the physical prowess to be a
In the physicality in general to do it.
physicality.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm thinking of.
And if they're already going with the Scandinavian theme for it,
Yeah.
So she's-
I'm game. Let's do it. I'd be perfectly fine, as a matter of fact, if like after Thor Ragnarok, Thor died and the power passed to her, done.
Yeah.
Good with me.
She picks the hammer up.
Because I accepted Beta Ray Bill as Thor in the comic books, and he's a horse-faced alien.
What if this alien robot?
Yeah. If I could accept a horse-faced alien robot is Thor, then anybody. That's no stretch to think that a woman could be Thor at that point.
Right.
No stretch.
The comic book Thor is actually really interesting, the new female Thor, because what happens is Nick Fury is being a dickhead and fighting a bunch of people. I don't know why. I actually don't know the backstory for that. But he's fighting with Thor, and at one point he whispers into Thor's ear something. You don't know what. And then all of a sudden, Thor can no longer use his hammer. He's not worthy any longer. Fury tells him something, and Thor becomes unworthy.
Tells him about furs.
Ah.
That's what it is.
But for a long time, for many years, like Thor's trying to like lift the hammer, and he's just not worthy of it. He can't do it. And then when everybody's gone at one point, this girl, and nobody knows who she is, walks up and just she's worthy of it. And then at one point, like Thor's like, "Are you like?"
Do they have the sweet Sailor Moon transformation?
No, she's already wearing the costume. But I mean, there's a lot of like people. Everyone believes that she's some kind of Asgardian. But who? Not
They don't
sure.
know. Right.
A lot of people at first thought it was Freya.
Lady Sif can do it.
Well, it's not Sif because Sif has. I suppose it could be. Maybe she dyed her hair, but she's blonde.
True.
And
but-
Sif is brunette. But at one point, Thor goes, "Hey, are you my mother? Are you Freya?" And like she's like, just kisses Thor. So now we know it's not Freya.
Right.
So we don't know who it is now. So it's pretty interesting. The comic book so far for it's been really, really good.
What if they'll do like a redemption story and get him back the hammer? Or find out why, because I would like to know what was whispered in his ear.
Don't know yet. Fury probably said something about a bastard son or
Could be.
daughter. Something like that, I guess. I don't know. That's
It's gotta-
the only thing I can
That's
think
like
of.
you have to first have to know what makes you worthy to hold the hammer,
Right.
and then we have to know from there what makes you unworthy, and then we could try to figure out what Loki or what Nick Fury whispered into his ear to make him feel something. that
Comics
made him
explain.
unworthy.
He does a whole thing. Yeah, he does. That's where I found out this information. and he does a whole thing about like what makes
comics explained.
yeah,
That's awesome.
comics explain so good. He does DC too.
Yeah.
But, he does the
Why?
Excellent points there. That's point to Ryan. Point to Ryan.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Why indeed?
He does a whole thing where like he talks about like what makes one worthy to wield Thor's hammer, who can and can't wield Thor's hammer, his own thoughts on Vision. He thinks from the movie that Vision can wield the hammer because he's a robot, like Beta Ray Bill was.
Right.
And not because he was actually worthy. That's his thought process, but he doesn't. Obviously, we don't know.
So, like, he wields the hammer, but it doesn't give him any extra power or anything like that.
I will grant Whedon that, like, every time I went to see the Age of Ultron, when Vision comes in and just pops the hammer out,
The entire theater
goes silent, and you hear shit.
Yeah,
Someone's always shit every time.
Yeah, like we were in the theater. What was it, Sunday? A lot of kids in the theater. Didn't matter. Like half the kids were probably saying shit.
Right.
Like yeah, a lot of reaction every single time that scene comes up.
Yeah, that and Quicksilver's death. Every time Quicksilver also got that same gas. Like, shit.
So we found out that he's not faster than bullets.
Well, he is faster than bullets, but
not high velocity rounds from a minigun.
Well, he wasn't racing them.
Should have been.
It's not like he was running away from them. He was running across their path.
True. All right, fair enough.
Well, I mean, honestly, I knew it was going to happen.
Superman's
like the moment that like Hawkeye's looking at the bullets coming at him and he closes his eyes.
The moment they show that one scene where Hawkeye like steps onto the boat, I'm like, Hawkeye's not dead, but someone else is about to die here.
Yeah.
And then when I saw Petrov moving, I'm like, yeah, it's him. He's dead. But they tried so hard to like even from like the previous viral marketing before the movie came out.
Yeah.
When they let slip that like someone's gonna die in this movie. And all the other viral marketing pointed towards like Hawkeye's about to die. Hawkeye's about to die. Hawkeye's about to die. Hawkeye's about to die. Like it's too much, guys.
Yeah.
It's too much. Because now I don't believe Hawkeye's gonna die. Now I believe you're trying to trick me.
Yeah, but he was quipping too much.
Yeah.
He was like the moment I knew he was gonna die for certain was when at one point Quicksilver like runs away and he says something snarky to Hawkeye and Hawkeye points his butt and he's like nobody would ever know.
Right.
When he says that I'm like, oh, he's not dying. It's just that's he's not dying.
Yeah. Well, they did a good job with the viral marketing, I thought, in general, to like because they set up that scene where Vision picks up the hammer. Like they've been setting that scene up since they released the hammer scene.
Yes.
Like 2 months before the movie came out.
That was the whole
They've
reason
been setting up that Vision scene since then. Like the viral marketing was all set up to set up that scene to make it that much more impactful, you know. Yeah. Because you've known about for a long time, like only someone who's worthy to pick up the hammer. It's been drilled into your head since forever.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But anything else we got on the docket? So
we're talking about Mad Max, Australia.
Oh,
the post-apocalyptic James Bond next week, Fury Road.
Fury Road. I'm actually very excited for this.
I am too. I am really excited.
At first, I wasn't certain. The more I've seen of it, the more I want to watch it. And
I'm pretty sure that what we see in the trailers is just nonstop action. And I'm guessing that there's more plot elements to it.
There's always going to be that like
than we truly see in the things. But
even in the original ones, it was that way. Like when it was on, it was on, and like shit was going down. But then there was that slow time where things got explained out. And things.
Right.
You know,
sort
this,
of have to have that.
it kind of reminds me. Well, obviously, like there's the original Mad Max, which there's some
time was good.
Yeah, there's some similarities. But what this movie actually reminds me of is a crazier, more insane version of Book of Eli. Like the way that the way the world was portrayed, and like the insanity that's shown in the trailers. Like just I don't know why it reminds me of that. It's obviously more colorful.
Right.
Yeah. That particular line especially. Yeah. But that's sort of what it's like. It kind of gives me that sort of vibe, and I really like it. So a more action-packed version of that.
Book of Eli is the only Denzel Washington movie that gets my thumbs up. Just for the record, I know you guys know how much I hate Denzel too.
Yeah.
Bougainville was fantastic.
Okay.
Well, it showed that he was not. Okay, listen. He was still the intense black man, but man, it was good.
Have you guys seen the Uncle Denzel memes?
No.
Where,
No.
yeah, it's got Denzel, he's got a hat on, he's got a little Bluetooth thing, and he's doing his little half smile thing. It's like, oh, Uncle Denzel. Like, Uncle Denzel says this or something
I
like
have
that.
not.
Oh, you have to see it.
I want to look this up.
Like Denzel is actually. You can't hate on Denzel because you like.
I absolutely hate
No,
Denzel.
because you can't.
Looks like almost even more than Bumblebee Thundercut.
Listen, if you hate on Denzel, you're not allowed to like. Who else is like Denzel? Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. What you got?
Hold on.
Nothing?
I do.
Nothing?
I do.
You got nothing.
No, I can't remember the actor's name.
It sounds like nothing right now.
How I forgot his name.
What's he been in?
He was Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt, thank you. You can't like Brad Pitt if you don't like.
Yeah, I absolutely can.
No, Brad Pitt is.
Uncle Denzel.
That's awesome, actually. It's Uncle Denzel.
They showed to the
Hey, show the camera like that. Let them know, too.
Get close, get close.
Closer, closer,
There you
closer,
go. Uncle Denzel.
closer. Nice, sweet. I got a reflection of it on there.
But he's always like the intense white dude.
Mm-hmm. But he's got more range than Denzel. He's always the crazy white dude. You go crazy any moment, but he's not always the same character like Denzel is.
Fair enough.
It's Mad Max Fury Road. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we'll definitely let you
Try to
know.
decide if I should sit down this week and watch the other three or not. I've never seen them.
No?
Just watch the
Never
first
seen
one.
them.
Just watch the first one.
Yeah,
There's no need for Tina Turner.
What do you think of
I say watch it to watch it. It's
Bro,
very
It's
different.
Tina Turner, man?
Yeah, I know.
Relive the 80s.
Dude, Busted Deal.
Did you ever
Deal.
see-
He's got to see it.
Did you see the that celebrity lip sync show or whatever that's hosted by LL Cool J?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Did you see the one where I think it's the guy from The Office comes out and does that Proud Mary, whatever, and he has like a full Tina Turner dress on and everything.
Really?
He like goes out the full Tina Turner style, like the Tina Turner dress on and everything. It was pretty awesome. And then he still got showed up by Anna Kendrick every time though.
Yeah. Anna Kendrick did with J-Lo. J-Lo came out
Yeah,
on the stage and she did the J-Lo song. And you just
Yes.
can't, like, it's,
booty. That's yes, booty.
I think it's funny though. There's a celebrity lip sync video, and the only thing I've ever seen lip syncs ever is like RuPaul's Drag Race. So someone
ever
saw
seen
that and thought, "Huh, I'm going to steal from this to make this."
Have you ever seen the videos though? Like
I've not.
this show is hysterical.
it's actually pretty good.
It's goddamn hysterical.
I've seen like commercials for it. It looked pretty good.
The,
But after the podcast, we'll watch the what's her name? Goddamn. Hathaway.
Hathaway.
And Hathaway doing Wrecking Ball.
Oh,
So good.
I'm in.
So good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's about it. We're pretty much done here.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming out and joining our 100th episode.
Woo!
You really want to see that wrecking ball? Dude, that's
I kind of do.
As
I kind of do.
it should. Well, the whole episode where it's like Anne Hathaway versus Emily Blunt. Whole episode's good.
That was once really good.
Yeah.
I'm watching. I think I just became a fan. I haven't seen it yet.
It's really
It's
good.
really good.
So, you know. Join us next week for our 100th episode.
Congratulations. You know, good job, guys.
Milestone
It's been a long
episode.
road.
Milestone. Yep.
So it's going to be really good. We got a lot planned for it. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, have a good night, guys. Oh yes, check us out at RSGPodcast.com.
Yeah.
We're on the Facebooks at Random Subject Generator. And we also have a Twitter at RSGPodcast.com. So hate us on Twitter. We'll hate you back.
Hey, sit back for a second, Ryan. That wasn't right.
Oh, the light.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like really dark.
Anyway, but yeah, also, not another podcast in Portland. I did a video commentary for them on Wolf Cop. I talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yes.
They finally got it up on their website. Check it out, notanotherpodcast.com. And you should see the movie. It's fucking amazing. So, yeah. See you guys.
You can't
Oh, and it's like it's in your face, and it's like you see it, and you're like, "What is? Oh!" Then you're like, "Yeah,
Red Rocket.
All right.
Yeah, they did.
yeah, Red Rocket, Red Rocket." Good
They
night.
did that.